Yeah, and unfortunately without Key Sanity, you don't get to see the partial dungeon dives that you might see that you probably want to see. Oh, and we start with Blue Mail. I mean, that's gonna make it like give them way more confidence at the start of this seed. That's what I like to see. I like to see a little bit of safety thrown in. It gives the runners more confidence to do stupid stuff.
Yeah, see some mail upgrades, maybe some early hearts. And just arrows from our first tree pull here.
We'll see if the crab does anything better. Nope. And both these runners doing the correct start. We still see, even in the main tournament, we'll still see people do the wrong start. But here, both runners appease in my favor. Start in with Sanctuary. I mean, there's another correct start, but as long as they don't go to Uncle first. That's just being silly.
Alright, so we did just see that there was a bomb upgrade on the Lumberjack Cave ledge there, so Aghanim not quite required yet. Won't know until a little bit further.
And DududeDude's strategy is to check as many tree pulls as he can. So that's why he's killing enemies as he goes. He'll pick up these 3 bombs. That's probably correct. Even though he's just got he with the 1 bomb he already has, and then these ones, he's gonna have enough bombs to do all of Village without having to buy extra bombs. I want to see
another. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I thought I was going to say the wrong thing anyway.
I was just gonna say there's just another one of those early safety items, another heart container. So, really nice there. Tree pull just giving hearts there as well.
Ooh, bad tree pull for those 2. So maybe we'll see different, but it looks like they'll be avoiding all of the free loot. Well, unless they need some more arrows later. I'm actually a little bit surprised they both only got 10 arrows. I actually like to fill up on my arrows, or at least pick up all 4 drops. But sometimes you don't see arrows for a really long time. It is pretty inconvenient if you get the bow, and like maybe Eastern isn't the best first option. You might still want to have those arrows for your bow.
Yeah, although an early bow is a really great weapon, especially when you don't have a sword or a hammer. Can make if you do go to check the escape area first. Really good safety item. Really
honestly, if you ask me what kind of seed I'd like to see, I usually like to see an early bow. I think early bow opens up a lot of options. It opens up some routing options, but it also opens up some like skill-based things. Like it allows them to do some dungeons that maybe they wouldn't have been able to do as easily. The bow is just an overall good item to have. It's also very difficult to find, so it gets out one of the kind of trollier items. Because the bow can be in all of but like 5 chests in the non-Ganon's Tower area. So though we haven't found any progression, we've found some safeties, and that's about it. Not even found any large stashes of money, so these runners are having to pick up as much money as they can find, so that they can be able to afford that item. They won't even be able to afford it with like their initial money. They are both 10 short right now. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's quite rare. Typically, at least by this point, you'll have around 100 rupees, so you can at least check that bottle vendor there. This seed just not giving them much.
This is definitely one of those seeds I would have talked to the bottle vendor and forgotten. It's just I don't even really look at my rupee count a lot of the time unless I need bombs. So because these run, and there's that 20, there's the last 20. Jeez, this is a dead Kakariko. Like, I don't even know what they could find anymore to make this Kakariko big. Maybe a sword? To refund them half their money. I mean, this is a poor seed. This is one of those seeds where you kind of... no, you don't have a bottle for him.
No, but we did see AaronDobbe picking up his lamp, so...
Oh. That's the lamp is kind of big. It probably means Eastern. Or Dark Escape. Now, picking up bombs here is probably correct, because honestly, the next best option, other than, is like to do South Shore, so... Oh, but
Yeah.
he's gonna go to. Oh, I hope he does bomb escape. Please do bomb escape.
I was gonna say I really like that bomb pickup, especially when bombs are your only weapon. So
So to Rod and Burma in chat, somewhat. There's only a few openers, like initial openers you can do, and then there's what some people call Uncle First, which is a pretty poor strat because if you go to Uncle, unless you get a weapon, you can't do the rest of the stuff nearby here. Now AaronDobbe has 10 bombs, so AaronDobbe is going to be able to do the rest of escape with these bombs, and that is something that can be required by the sea. I feel like AaronDobbe's been skipping like the items here and there. Did he check the chest and I just missed it?
yeah, I may have missed that as well. I think he
I
did
don't.
skip the chest there.
Yeah, and I feel like he skipped checking the chicken race game as well.
Yeah, he didn't go to that southern part. I didn't see the library or the race game, so
Nice. So what I was saying. So Uncle First is kind of the. I joked. There's some merit to Uncle First. Checking 2 chests. They're just right there, completely free. There is some merit to it. I just don't like it. I think it's a waste of time. The other main route is what's called like standard route, which is literally start in as if you finished the standard mode of the game.
yeah, I personally like that route a bit better.
Mm-hmm. And then there's actually my favorite start, which is Houlihan into like Haunted Grove, where you just always do Houlihan first, and then you go to the Haunted Grove to get 2 bombs, and that's the strategy that I like. Why? I mean, I can't actually. I don't know. I just one time I saw a runner do it and worked really, really well, and I kind of like the consistency of always having money and always having bombs. So, the other one is just to do Haunted Grove. You start at Lynn's house and then go through the village in the opposite way that these guys did, going all the way to the item in the forest and then save and quit in. With that route, you're gambling, and that you'll never really have a good chance to check what's at Agenum, but you in that route will just play by ear, and if you get boots and the stuff to kill Agenum, you eventually will end up checking that spot. So those are kind of the openers. Now we're still not really finding anything here.
No, not much. However, we did at this point we did get our first map check. We did see that the green pendant is going to be at Eastern Palace. It's in Vanilla Dungeon, while 4 was Desert and 5 was Hera.
Interesting. So another slight interesting routing thing from Aaron. He he didn't go to. He has the lamp. Oh, and he's save and quit. So he should have damage boosted off of the one spike and ball guard and just save and quit that way. Also, this guard is actually deceivingly difficult to kill. But again, they should be damage boosted anyway. So doing hold the bomb and get poked by the guard a bunch strat should be totally fine, because they should be damaging on the start, dying, and then ending up at the start here. So AaronDobbe losing about I don't know, a few seconds on doing that strategy, because it does take time to die, but it also takes time to save and quit and walk. So we'll see if DududeDude does that as well. Yeah, dude is death warping. This made sense. He's gonna throw a pot, take a bunch of damage here. He's gonna go down to half a heart. He's gonna go back over here and grab a pot. Hopefully not grab the heart. Yeah, he does it. And he might even be able to damage boost off this guard, because this guard's chasing him. So that's actually gonna save him a bomb. Perfect. That was actually a perfect death warp. And still nothing.
Yeah, we're still got the southern part of Hyrule here and the dam to check out. Looks like AaronDobbe may be going to check the areas that he missed at the race game in the library.
Maybe. It's just it's so weird. I don't know if he's doing some of this his running is very weird. Just it's paid off so far because he hasn't been punished by anything. They literally have just found the lamp and that's it. So but neither of them have checked South Shore or Eastern. Yeah, skipping the second chest is definitely 100% a mistake, and it's an interesting one. It's like, huh.
You got to almost wonder if it may be just a little bit of nerves. This being the last tournament race that these runners are going to be in for this fall tournament. So now here's an interesting choice from DududeDude. Instead of going to the southern part of Hyrule, he's going to go straight over to Sahasrah's hut and Eastern Palace area.
Isn't that made sense with the lap? Where is Dobby? Oh, he never did the vendor. Which, oh man, Dobby's routing is weird today. You can skip this. The areas are less like. Well, no, I mean that's not how this logic works. Every chest is equally as likely to have progression as other chests in its like requirement sphere, as it were. Spheres don't really exist in the randomizer anymore, but it's still a decent term. But that is power gloves, so that's a big deal.
Yeah, it was a really great find there for DududeDude and Sahasrah's hut. Find the power gloves, so let's see if the routing choice from AaronDobbe going to the southern part of Hyrule here, if that pays off as well.
Yeah, they do not have a sword yet. No one's got one. And there's just a art piece in there. Are we gonna find anything in this chest? Oh, 300 rupees, that's good.
Yeah, that starts building up that Zora money that you're going to need, the 500 rupees.
Okay, nothing. I'll see if something's in here. Like, this lamp does lead me to believe that something's gonna be here. But finding that powered gloves kind of leads me to Death Mountain as a spot. But that's only like 2 items, so it's actually just better to check where he is right now. Powered gloves also leads him to the back of a state. I don't remember if either runner found a key or a map, though. So back of a state might be fruitless, too.
Well, the map was in the Sanctuary chest.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Oh, there's the sword. But that doesn't open up anything. So...
yeah, it does kind of lead me to believe that DududeDude will likely find something over here. It looks like AaronDobbe's gonna route in the Ice Rod Cave here as well while he's down here.
Oh, there's the big key. Still 100 away for AaronDobbe for Zora. Just a map, so you gotta check the back of him. Looks like this is gonna... Wait, where are you going to... Oh, he's getting the money!
That's a really good choice.
He's got the lamp, so it's easy to...
Hey, that's a room that a lot of people don't really realize it's here, because you never really go in here.
It's definitely a room you... No, this is definitely a room you stumble upon in vanilla. Depending on, like, I mean, if you're just playing this game blind, you never know. You'll check everything. Trust me, you have to check everything in vanilla. Blind Link to the Past is an experience that is very hard to get. But it is a very worthwhile experience. But if you've even watched a randomizer, then, I mean, if you've watched any Link to the Past, you're ruined on that experience. This game is very hint-based. It's like a giant puzzle when you play it without hints. Or without guides, or without watching anything. And Dobby getting his gloves.
And AaronDobbe's gonna skip out on going to Eastern Palace. Gonna wait on that for later.
Well, that's a more normal skip. And it pays off for him. Probably doing it because it's a pendant. Maybe since it's just worthless. No, skipping Eastern when you're already at Seshrill is definitely a gamble. That's definitely considered a gamble, especially when you have so few options. There's the mirror. That makes Death Mountain the obvious play. With their sword, with his sword, he can do Hera now, and that is a crystal. So we'll see if DududeDude is going to avoid South Shore or not. He is. I know some people do like to avoid South Shore. It's actually a fairly long time to check every time, so you can route it in actually with some other stuff a bit better, especially with the mirror. Oh, is he gonna go to... Oh, you know what? He wants to route it in with... I like it. Doing the better Houlihan strat too. I love it.
Yeah, this will definitely, with what we know that's down there, this will definitely get him the money for Zora. Now that is open to them. They do have the Power Glove, so... AaronDobbe getting blocked by that dead rock.
Oh no!
Just shy of
So-
being able to to get the item from the uncle, and it's just 3 bombs here.
So DududeDude is gonna do this, and it's gonna feel a little silly because he's about to get 300 rupees, I'm pretty sure. So, in the next cave over. So he didn't need to do that Houlihan, but I still like it because you do still need more money than what even Dobbe has. Plus, like, you need about 700 to do everything. About 710. When is final? Wait, Zertanol, you know when final is? Or do you mean the finals of the main? If so, then that is happening Friday. Or no, tomorrow. And then Saturday. No idea. Wait.
Alright, so DududeDude picks up his sword here. And nothing on Spectacle Rock for AaronDobbe, just a heart container and a piece of heart. Now DududeDude is going to save and quit out of here. Will likely head up to Death Mountain from here, having his sword, and able to, at that point, be able to head into Tower of Hera.
Oh, is it a oh, it's not basement required. I totally thought this lamp was gonna mean basement required.
It still could be required. We still need another item, which could still be hiding down there.
There are so many ways to do this room. This is not the best way, though. There's a really, really good way where you just knock them into the pits. The vanilla, like, speedruns way of dealing with that room is very clean. The secondary final is not the silver match. The secondary final is the winner of the 120-ish player tournament that was completely open to anyone, but was not guaranteed to be restreamed. Although lots of people, myself included, stepped up to make sure that the secondary tournament could be restreamed. 140. I can't remember the exact number. Lots of people, lots of good runners in the secondary tournament, even because the qualifiers for the main were a little iffy. If you screwed up once, you were kind of screwed, and you were kind of like benefited from only doing one good race. So if that one race was one that, say, didn't play into your style, and you're in a bit of trouble. Also, spins do the exact same as anything else in this fight, so it doesn't really matter how you hit Moldorm with a fighter sword, as long as you hit him.
Yeah, and that was a really clean fighter sword fight for AaronDobbe, and that is the Moon Pearl from Moldorm.
DududeDude. Oh, duh.
He almost got it there.
He didn't have the movement just right. You have to do the room pretty perfectly to get the correct movement for that room. Okay, so they actually do still need more items to do anything. Like, they can't even go and do an early Adjunim. They don't have the Master Sword or the Cape yet. So this is pretty awkward, honestly, this set of items.
Yeah, we're looking for, what, either a Master Sword or a Cape. We're looking for the other glove upgrade or a hammer at this point
Yep.
to really open up anything else.
And Dobbe on his way to check Adina. Good route in. Mirror Cave could sequence break a few things. There are some other places that could have items, and this wouldn't be the first seed where the hobo had like a hammer or a glove upgrade. Dobbe pick up extra money too. That's probably a good idea. If you do find the item to get you into Dark World, like the other set of gloves, you will want some extra money for the Thieves Town area, as well as Pod if you find the hammer.
Yeah, the extra rupees really come in handy. Like you said, for the Village of Outcasts area, there's the chess game, there's the digging game, as well as the rupees for Kiki the
Pod.
monkey.
Yep. Gonna do some item scouting as well while he's here. Not a bad idea. And it's a bottle, which they don't have, so that could be progression.
It could
Or
be
it,
so.
it would at least unlock an item.
Ooh, and DududeDude falling down the middle hole here in
Oh
Tower of Hera.
no! This fight is hard on Fighter Sword. Like, it's not a joke.
Oh, it's insanely difficult. And there's just a piece of heart in Agina's cave, so at this point, the next piece of progression would almost have to be at Zora, if I'm not mistaken. Very nice second try there for DududeDude, grabbing his Moon Pearl. AaronDobbe deciding to go ahead and sequence break, set up this fake flipper here. And looks like we'll be seeing what the hobo has first. And there's our second sword on the Lake Helia Island there.
Oh, well, that's probably not our second sword. It's probably gonna be our third. It'll be an interesting seed if it's our second. I guess it could be. I mean, if they find a hammer, then if they find a hammer or a glove, then that is actually probably gonna be their second sword. They are really hoping for something in this lake area. Oh, DududeDude never checked Ice Rod Cave. Oh, you know what? He's gonna load up a. He likes to do the double. He likes to load up a. Oh no, you can't because he doesn't have boots, so he can't do the swim. Okay, never mind. He's just checking this. Let's see if we can find anything.
Yeah, to stay on logic, I mean, like I said, I think the only place I think Zora would have to have an item at this point.
Yes, he does. 100% he is an item, but they're hoping it's not like a sword or a cape, so we gotta check everything else too. Cause... Nope, no sequence breaking allowed here. None of these sequence breaks have anything. 2 piece of hearts in that cave. Sora's probably... I mean, he definitely has progression. I mean... If this was a backwards world, Dobbe would have been screwed by not checking that one chest, and it would have had progression, and we'd just be sitting here watching him scramble around the world. And that would have been unfortunate, because I've commentated at least 3 of those seeds, or 3 of those kinds of races. And there's the super gloves. That makes the most sense with the mirror. The mirror and the super gloves are actually great. Great start to Dark World, because you can check basically everything on the overworld in one go. Ida still on board? Yeah, Edward could still be on board. It's just very unlikely. Because literally, like, there's like 5 different items that could get you to the other side of Adrenum. And even then, there are tricks you can do to avoid Adrenum, depending on what the pendants are. If it's a pendant swamp, there is the trick you can do to completely avoid doing Adrenum in this seed. You can do a fake flipper, set up in Stall Woods, and then walk all the way to Catfish. It does require the boots, though. And speaking of Pendant Swamp, so this is one of those seeds where you hope that nothing is an Ice Palace, because it means that you just skip the flippers completely. Not checking Stall Woods. Not checking the early Stall Woods items. Interesting. Now that is definitely a gamble, considering the likelihood of Stall Woods having an item in it. It's not as high as it used to be, but it is still high. Now, with the way that this seed's going, looks like Blind is probably something they should just get out of the way. They have Blue Mail, lots of health, and there are a possibility of getting all 4 items without needing the hammer. Now, it wouldn't be incorrect to see if they could find the hammer first, but we'll see what they do. I'm generally a fan of doing Blind as soon as you get into Dark World and just getting them out of the way. Unless you're...
Especially if I have a sword, because that makes it so much easier than having to try to rely on the hammer or some other damage source like the canes or...
I know there was the hard daily not too long ago where people like literally just bashed their head against Blind because they didn't go in like check more overworld, and there was literally 2 swords in the dark overworld that they could have gotten. You literally had to go into Blind with like 4 hearts and no swords if you just went straight there from Dark World. But if you spent just a little bit of time on the overworld, you got like hammer, cane, sword, 2 swords. It was like some health, blue mail. It was like you either got to do it really easy or a lot of.
And then just to recap here on our overworld, we did see that the other part of our 5 and 6 crystal is going to be here in Skull Woods, while Turtle Rock is going to be our other pendant here.
Mm-hmm. No, I am not Zelda. There's an S in my name. And this seed is very feminine. Oh, and there's half magic. Never mind. Okay. Well, I actually don't have anything to use that magic on. They didn't spam their torch all day. This game modified Link looks like a chick. There are sprites that you can download or not download, but there are sprites that can be added on via the Randomizer website. So I believe that is the maiden on Aaron's side. It looks kind of like Ferris actually from Final Fantasy V, but I know that's not a sprite yet, so I'm not 100% sure who that is. But the other one is Popoy, who is one of the allies in Secret of Mana, one of the best games ever made. Oh, that's Inklin. Oh, okay, that makes sense now. I see it.
So what is the Inkling sprite from?
Splatoon?
Never played Splatoon, so.
Oh. I hate this room so much. The one that Aaron... Actually, you know what? Both the rooms. They are both in rooms I hate a lot. Don't worry, you can walk... Oh. You can walk through them, I'm pretty sure, when they're frozen. But that is going to hit you on your way out, so you better use the hand to teleport. He's going to get smacked in the face when he... Yeah. A lot.
Yeah, and that's all the locations that DududeDude can check here. He doesn't have the fire rod to check the back of Skull Woods. Now, meanwhile, AaronDobbe still hasn't found much of anything here in Thieves Town.
DududeDude is going to go do some item scouting. Possibly even do some mirror check on... Nope, never mind. Just using a different route to get back into the village.
Mind flaw. Nope, there's no different rules or settings for the secondary tournament. It's same rule set for the main tournament. It's just unfortunately we didn't have room for all 230 in one tournament, so this is pretty much the overflow.
AaronDobbe keeping that strip somewhat on par. He doesn't move down, which is good.
And the Cane of Samaria. So that's a pretty big item coming out of Thieves Town here for AaronDobbe.
Now, if I do the line now, I'm not going to get another commentary anyway. No, that's bad. So many wasted seconds, dude. Missed stud like 4 times there.
Ooh, and there's our hammer.
That's perfect. Was there's nothing in that chest, is there? Is there an item in Thieves Town?
I don't recall. I
don't recall. I wasn't counting.
I miscounted.
AaronDobbe doing the correct route, and when you have the powered gloves, you can get out of there a little bit quicker by doing what he did. And with the mirror, they can check pretty much everything here. DududeDude doing the strategy I usually do for Dark World routing is like pretty much all the overworld first. If you have the mirror, you can just do all of it. Like there's and it's pretty beneficial too. It means you're not going to get screwed by just like that one spot. Like which you can if you just go dungeon. And they don't have a lot, and I usually only do that in their situation, which is when they don't have a lot of items. Oh, hey, red mail. They already have 2 crystals as well, or they can have 2 crystals, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, and I do like the gamble that DududeDude made in not going immediately into Thieves Town, because with that hammer, if there is another item in there, that means you won't have to double dip that big chest.
Now, something to keep in mind with the dungeons that they have as pendants, there is actually quite a few items that aren't required that normally would be. Ice Rod and Flippers are actually not required. Flippers is, by the logic, required. But with a glitch, you can bypass that. So if nothing is in Swamp Palace, and nothing is in ice that you need, you can go. And if there's one more item in ice, for example, so let's say that we get everything except for the flippers and the medallion for Meyer. You could go fake flip into ice, and if the medallion's there, then you just saved a lot of time. So there are some things you can do that are a little fancy in this seed. Thank you very much, Monkey Breath, for letting us know that. I was pretty sure, but I wanted to check.
And there's our fire rod for AaronDobbe. Stumpy having that fire rod.
That's a big deal. That means that Skullwoods is doable right now, and that would also allow them to go into ice.
Yeah, and it actually works out really beneficial for AaronDobbe because, you know, he skipped out on Skullwoods, so we can just go in there and clean it all up in one fell swoop.
Interesting route-in thing he could do here is when he's done this, when he's done with the chest, he can actually just walk to ice, fake flip into ice, and just do ice. It's he knows all the bomb jumps. It's a very weird, risky, and kind of dumb gamble, but he could do it.
Yeah.
Because if he found some progression in there without the flippers, and the flippers are in like deep pendant T-Rock, like that's a pretty big deal. So I don't know, it would be an interesting thing to think about. Probably not the best option, but it would be an interesting idea.
Alright, so AaronDobbe did just check Hype Cave there. We did see the red boomerang and silver arrows in there. Now, another thing AaronDobbe could do here as well is he could grab the sword that's on the ledge here as well, or the Helia Island. Or no, he cannot because he doesn't have the flippers. Never mind. Alright, so it looks like AaronDobbe is going to be heading back over toward the Village of Outcasts. May see him dip into Skullwoods here with that fire rod.
Fire rod and sword to do moth, pretty difficult. Just because like then you're pretty much with half. Well, he doesn't even have half magic. Right, that was in Skullwoods, so he'll find it. So that's good. So that's actually not too bad. Half magic, fire rod, because that will give you 16 shots of fire, and you only need 8 to kill moth. Obviously, you have to use a few just to get to this. Now, one thing that Aaron probably should have done is grabbed the extra sword, but I don't know if he knows it's there. I don't know. I don't think he checked it. I'm pretty sure that was DududeDude who checked the sword was on the island, so that's something that he's missing out on.
Alright, so we did see here that the big chest did have an item, but nothing all that great, so not too much missed here for AaronDobbe.
Oh, it was Aaron who checked. So interesting that he didn't grab the Master Sword then. Oh, they both did, huh? Very interesting that Aaron didn't go grab the Master Sword. That might be like the only sword they have before GT, so. Okay, DududeDude's gonna finish up blind and then go do the rest of the overworld since his chest is gonna be chilling outside for him. Oh, right. You can't fake in Dark World. Well, you can, just it's pretty dumb. You can't. Well, you need boots, so yeah, you're right. Rip. I forgot about the boots. Okay, or the flippers. Weird. This is interesting. They know where his sword is, but they can't get to it. DududeDude chest despawned. I was like 95% sure that was gonna happen, because of the way that dungeons work. Look, I keep my commentary simple. It's basically the same thing. Fake Flipper and Jesus Walk are basically two halves of the same whole, sort of. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the game didn't do us any screen transitions in Dark Hylia late. So, sad day. DududeDude getting his fire on. You're gonna be pretty happy with that, probably.
And I like the decision from AaronDobbe to go ahead and go straight back onto Mothula, because there is just that one item left, and if Mothula has an item, he doesn't have to waste the time to check that first chest.
DududeDude is doing the very clean version of this, which is just killing them with the fire rod. You just have no mercy. So with DududeDude dropping off that first, I'm gonna go ahead and say he's gonna check more of the overworld than AaronDobbe did. AaronDobbe didn't check some of the East Dark World. Also, I don't think any of those fire rod shots are connecting. They have a better chance of connecting when you shooting it up, and oh, maybe they were. Fire shots have an easier chance of connecting than slashes because the fire lingers for a bit, and when Moth bounces off of spikes, he can re-hit the fire while it's still there, which is why the fire rod is way more consistent in this fight.
Alright, so that was our second item from Mothula, just the green rupee. So Skull Woods is now dry of items, and I'll be curious to see where AaronDobbe goes from here. And looks like DududeDude is going to go and check out the pyramid, see what's on that ledge there, see if he decides to route catfishing now or save till later. Oh, he's just going to save and quit there.
So there's one thing that is almost always a mistake, and that is backing out on a decision. So like, if you make a bad choice, you should finish it. Because you waste a lot of time by going half in on a decision. Because, like, if you're just right there. So, that's probably the only time I would say that there's a mistake. Also,
yeah,
those are both five. He has both 5/6s down, so that's Oh, did he never do stall?
No, he didn't. He just now got his fire rod.
Right,
so
okay.
Back there
so, yeah, okay, never mind. That's fine then, actually. You know what, that's cool. I like it. No, never mind, this made sense. Did AA get to the finals? No. JSR beat him. Oh no, JSR was no Cransoon beat him. Sorry, it was Cransoon. JSR versus AA is tomorrow or the 28th. I don't remember which date. Yeah, even though his routing that clicked in at the last second made sense, he probably still should have at least checked the ledge since he was there. But you know,
Yeah.
in this case, he's not actually losing time. Like normally, you just lose time when you back out on a gamble.
Now, interesting choice here from AaronDobbe. He's going up to check the eastern part of Death Mountain here. He does have the hammer, so we can go ahead and head on over that way, as well as get access to the Dark World over there.
Okay, DududeDude doing the other way of doing that room, which is to just like ignore the dibdos. Is the VOD of Cransoon versus A on this channel? I don't remember where it is. Should be on YouTube shortly, though. So, like, actually, Moth is like one of the biggest pieces of RNG in the run. Like, his movement is completely random, the spikes in the room are completely random, the floor is random, him taking damage is not actually random, but feels like it.
Yeah,
Also,
especially
is AaronDobbe doing a... Oh no, right, he doesn't have a medallion, but this would still be sick if he did. Jeez. I got myself hyped. Oh, Bombos, okay. Good to keep in mind. Yeah, like I said, Athius, even though he made the decision with a good idea in mind, it is probably still a mistake to back out and not check the ledge. But it's not as big of a mistake as I thought it was originally. Where he was just like, I originally thought he was just going to go to Death Mountain. And I was like, oh, hey, there's a Master Sword. I told you it was going to be Sword 3.
Yeah, likely going to be Sword 3. Who knows? Maybe even Sword 4. Let's get excited for that, right? You know, just as a little aside, I really like how early the 5 and 6 crystals were in this seed. Alright, meanwhile, Spiral Cave not really having much of anything, just a piece of heart. DududeDude blowing up the bomb wall here. And we find just another piece of heart lounging out here on the pyramid.
Okay. And a book. Oh, that could be huge. Oh man. The big fairy knew how to read. Taught us how to as well.
Yeah, and you know, with that Master Sword that AaronDobbe found here on Death Mountain, eventually when DududeDude comes up here, oh wow, there's the Ice Rod. Yeah, but eventually when DududeDude comes up here, that's another location he can route into that.
Small troll in that the book at Pyramid Fairy, Skullwood's being one of those pendant or one of those crystals means that there's no easy way to check pedestal. You have to spend time to check it. That's a small, interesting thing. But I don't think we can have a pedestal seed right now. We could have flute. Flute's almost always could be on pedestal. So.
Yeah, that and the the Bombos medallion, because we did see that I think it was Ether was on the ledge, or was that Bombos?
Bombos is TR, so it can't be. It could be the medallion for Meyer.
Yeah, I had those backwards.
It could be boots for DP or Meyer. Wait, nope, because you'd have a hoodshot if you had the pedestal, so it wouldn't matter. Desert, it seems like the play. You have everything to do it except for the boots, and finding out if it's locked is important. Although, unfortunately, it doesn't have a Master Sword. Oh, and Dobbe taking the. Dobbe, I mean, this is pretty much the only thing he can do, actually, other than go to Pod. Which, I mean, this would be basically on the way for that. Not running the Bombos check, probably a mistake. Alright, now Dobbe has the book.
Alright, and he's gonna head up to Catfish. Meanwhile, DududeDude hopping right into Desert Palace with that book. Alright, so we should know here very shortly if Desert Palace is going to be a boot lot here.
It is! Interesting.
Now, I'd be curious to see if DududeDude decides to rob the key from the back to come back in here. That is something you can do, but it is out of the logic.
So that fairy is probably the progression, by the way. I mean, other than it being in Pod.
So DududeDude is going to go ahead and make his Death Mountain check.
That would have. Well, yeah, I guess he doesn't know that progression is pretty much either a few battle issues. Oh, AaronDobbe not doing the gamble of skip Bombos check. Well, he can also grab the items, so that's a bigger deal. It's less of a gamble.
Alright, and let's see. Bombos is holding the key here, and it's just 20 rupees. So, didn't hurt DududeDude for not going over there to check it. But he is going to go and check the Ether tablet.
Oh!
And there's our flippers.
Not actually a required item, but probably is, and also probably a time save to grab after getting this Master Sword. Like, to walk this distance and grab the Tempered Sword, to grab it, it's basically grabbing the Tempered Sword. And that is a time save, because you can invest about like a minute and a half to get in the Master Sword, to get in the Tempered Sword, and you're still saving time on Ganon alone, usually. Although less time because they have silvers. The biggest time loss is phase 4. But you can invest quite a bit of time in getting tempered and not actually lose time. Especially depending on how many bosses you have left. And they still have some of the harder bosses. So
yeah, that's
probably a good idea.
Yeah, should he invest the time in grabbing that? I mean, that'll clear up or quicken up his dungeon kills. A lot of enemies will die to one swing to that Tempered Sword. Plus, as you alluded
Also
to,
opens up
Ganon.
pedestal. Opens up flute pedestal as well.
And now that I think about it, it may be a while before AaronDobbe goes back up there, because there's only Hookshot Cave that can really take him up there without having the required item, medallion for Turtle Rock. Yeah, I mean, as of right now, yeah, we do have everything for Ice Palace. I mean, even right now, without the flippers, we can't fake flipper over there. And with some bomb jumps, you can fully check Ice Palace at this point.
Okay, do you want to go to Dark World? And discover the Master Sword is chilling in the Dark World.
And we are going to be getting a pedestal check here from AaronDobbe.
Ooh, get your pet height. What was it?
And just the heart container, so
Oh.
pedestal not required. And DududeDude gonna be really happy to grab his Master Sword here. It means he's gonna be able to go grab his flippers. And in turn, the Tempered Sword, and we may even get to see a nice Palace play after this. So that would be on the way. Meanwhile, AaronDobbe looks like he's getting ready to hop into Palace of Darkness. It's an interesting gamble without having that bow.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's not really when you're got so few places to check. It's pretty much gotta be here. He doesn't know that the flippers are up here because it would be a huge waste of time for him to go up here. So we'll find out if these flippers are actually required. We may not really ever see AaronDobbe go back up here. Or this could also send DududeDude on a wild goose chase, but it's probably just gonna send him to ice, which is required anyway. If he knows all the bomb jumps, he can get through this dungeon without using the hook shot. And sometimes you can get through the dungeon without using the hook shot. That's intended. Depending on where your keys are, you actually are required to backtrack in the dungeon. And sometimes I think are required to mirror. But he's gonna go to... Yeah, he's gonna go... Where? Wait. Oh. Checking Bombos, which he never did check. That's fair. Wait, no. That can't be where he's going. He's not in Dark World. Did he forget that? Where's it going? Oh, he remembered. Rip. See, this is where I wish that we had the runners in chat. So, like in Super Mario Odyssey, we can go like, runner, what? And then the runner will about 10 minutes later go, I don't know.
All right, so Palace of Darkness is indeed bow locked. The first item in there was the cape.
Okay,
so
that's
those flippers
interesting.
have to be the progression.
Yep.
Which
interesting.
At this point, those flippers could lead into both Ice and Swamp Palace. We could see a hook shot in its vanilla dungeon, which would make Swamp Palace at least dipping in there required.
Aaron is gonna have to waste a lot of the time that he's been saving gambling going all the way back up the mountain for those flippers, because those flippers are in fact needed. Although, DududeDude threw away quite a bit of time walking all the way here and forgetting to be in Dark World.
Yeah, and and once again, there's not really much incentive up on Death Mountain for AaronDobbe. The only other location you can check is that tablet, unless he somehow finds the hookshot somewhere.
We haven't checked Catfish, right?
I don't recall.
Pretty sure we haven't. Oh, he's gonna grab his tempered sword as well. Oh, that's a huge advantage for DududeDude. Being able to grab this tempered sword now.
Yeah, that's gonna make Cold Stare so much easier. Should be a fairly simple fight with half magic, fire rod, and the tempered sword.
Right, and that means you'll even have fire rod shots left after opening up his casing. Cold Stare should have invested in some fireproof casing, like maybe like a fireproof locker thing, like filing cabinet. Those are heavy too, hard to move. Probably wouldn't even be able to move them with the Titan's mitts. I mean, DududeDude's not gambling at all to come here. This is the most logical place to go. It's a crystal. He has the hammer, which lets him complete it. He has the cane, which means that he can complete it logically. All depends on where the keys are.
And there's our first item, the flute.
Oh, AaronDobbe is going back up. This is kind of the only place he can go, but this is a huge time loss for him.
Yeah, this, I mean, he does have that tablet and now, the Spike Cave. He did pick up the cape and has half magic, so he could be taking one of those two locations.
Myers completable. So Bowen, although we still need we don't have any medallion yet.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if the cape that you get out of Palace of Darkness required you to get Ether to get into Mire, which would have the bow. That is a definite possibility right now.
Oh, Spike Cave. They have a ferry. And half magic, and the cape. So yeah, this is in logic. Also, with no small key in that first spot, makes it a little bit harder to do this dungeon, because you have to do this bomb jump, which is pretty difficult. Alternatively, you can learn how to and the hardest part is remembering that you have to do this bomb jump this way. So like, everybody does it the wrong way and they put the bomb above their head. Like that, whenever I see people struggle, it's because they're actually just doing the bomb jump wrong. You have to put the bomb jump like basically on the block. People say it's like super tight and requires like tons of like precision on where you place it. It's not really. It's actually like one of the most one of the easier bomb jumps in this place. Once you know how to do it. Yeah, if Cold Stare has a key, it's not headshot locked. It's super weird.
Alright, and AaronDobbe gonna go and make that same play into Ice Palace. So probably my least favorite stairs in the game. So hard to get on those from without having either the hook shot or the boots. And there's our Bombos medallion. That brings Turtle Rock being 100% completable now.
Mm-hmm. But it might also be the medallion for Ether, or for Meyer, so... That's gonna be the first thing these runners check.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just find the flute in here.
That's 3 items, but I think he doesn't have the bid key. And he
He
did not bomb jump.
Well, he did have the
Oh, no,
big key. That's where
yeah.
the Bombos medallion was.
Oh, whoops. Well, he's checking at your chest for no reason. This is gonna be a small key, the second one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he actually does need that key because he didn't do the bomb jump. So he actually needs that key to progress further here. He does have to be really careful here on this cold stair fight. He only has 2 hearts left. I believe he still has that fairy, so should be okay, but still should need to play it a little bit carefully here. And he's going to be using the Bombo, so he's going to have plenty of fire rod shots for these cold stair puffs.
Finding bombos in here is really nice, because it actually makes cold stare a lot easier. Although they have tempered, so it's probably fine. Okay.
Oh!
Well, luckily he's got fairy. No, it was a bee. I thought it was a
Oh,
fairy.
it was the bee. Oh my goodness.
Oh no. This is bad.
Any time that he had over AaronDobbe for checking that that ether tablet is now pretty much gone.
Oh. There we go. Oh, this is like the longest boss to die to, I think.
Yeah, it's a toss up between either this one or Argus even. Both have a pretty long walk from the entrance of the dungeon. Looks like AaronDobbe's trying to set up a bomb jump here.
Fortunately, I think DududeDude's stream is disappearing. But this is fine. We've already seen him do this. We know he can.
Indeed. So, once again, everybody, while we're seeing stuff we've already seen, DududeDude and AaronDobbe put on a fantastic showing throughout this entire tournament. If you like what you've seen so far, please go ahead and give a follow to both of these racers. They've been, like I said, they put on a fantastic showing, making it this far, bringing our bronze match to a game 3. They deserve all the support they can get.
Yeah, everybody involved with this tournament put in a lot of work. It's been a pretty sick tournament to play in and be in.
All right, and we're pretty close to being almost tied up here. Looks like they're going to be in the same rooms almost at the same time here. Looks like DududeDude may have just a few seconds on AaronDobbe. Let's see if AaronDobbe has a bit easier time here with Cold Stare.
Not really 100% sure. I assume it's DududeDude's network.
Alright, so we did see there that DududeDude was able to get Cold Stare down here, getting the small key from there and lifting the crystal above his head, so...
Yeah, the dungeon was actually not hook shot required then. So, hook shot could actually be in Mire. Or Turtle Rock. Just because with this dungeon has some weird logic that actually can require you to beat Cold Stare or Mirror to go back with a small key.
And DududeDude needs to activate his flute first before he can fly away with it. So, looks like they will both be heading there, and we are just about 100% synced up here. And DududeDude is going to check the sick kid first here before activating his flute, and we'll likely see them head on down to the Mire area. Alright, so it looks like we'll be getting that information first here from AaronDobbe as to what is the medallion for Misery Mire. Hoping that it's Bombos.
And it was? I couldn't tell.
Oh.
Dude, look at it for like a split second longer, please. Please. Oh, jump in the water. Oh, it's... Wait, we have no idea where that is. That's a giant question mark. Well, we're going to Turtle Rock, boys.
Yeah, and Quake could be on the pedestal. Well, no, it can't. We already checked it. Never mind. I've got a terrible memory.
Well...
My brain's on randomizer right now.
It's okay. Soon I won't need a brain. I'll just have my 10-inch tablet on the side. I'll just write down notes on the tournament matches I'm doing and the entrance randomizers I do. I literally bought a tablet specifically, and the first thing I thought of was I could use this for speed running. This is what my life has become.
Yeah, so both the runners are going to be going into Pendant Turtle Rock.
It's not an Xmas present, because I'm 26 and you don't get things like tablets when you become an adult for Christmas, usually. Usually. No, I just bought this for myself. Catching the ferry! Go! There. The bee
So
wanted in
close
the
to
net
catching the
too.
bee instead.
Actually, I don't know if you can catch the bee while it's still active. There's like a time frame where you can't recatch the bee. Then the bee starts betraying you again, tries to leave, and you have to recatch him.
Here we go into Turtle Rock. We'll see if the dungeon forces them to go all the way to Trinex for that last item.
TR is 6 items, 5 plus TR and Mimic? Pretty much. I actually like to think of it as it's 12 items, including small T's and everything else. Maybe 11. I'm a big proponent of thinking of dungeons as the number of chests in them, not the number of like actual items. Oh, and there's the powder. That could be something.
Yep. That does open up the Bat Cave for them to check.
Laser Bridge is in the logic. Yes, it is. When you have cape, it is counted as logic. DududeDude doesn't have the cape, but Aaron does.
Yeah, they don't have the hook shot, so they gotta go around
Right.
the long way here.
Yeah, AaronDobbe realized it and was able to make a quick spin around.
So for right now, see the question asked, what is needed for Go mode? We need the Quake Medallion, we need the hook shot, we also need the bow.
And the boots.
And the boots, of course, yeah, because the desert.
We are nowhere
Always forget
near
about
the end of this seed. We've got a lot of places to check. We got a lot of dungeons to go to. If we find the bow, that opens up pod.
Right, and Turtle Rock, for the most part, going as expected. Not really much going on so far, except for some keys here.
Oh yeah, hookshot can actually hookshot isn't required. You're right. Chad is right. Well, it's not
Well,
required to
let's
get to
cover.
GT. Yeah, it's not required to get to GT, which is the important part. Which is the interesting part. I don't think either of these runners are able to hover. I mean, I could be wrong. But I would learn something new about these runners otherwise. Well, hover is not in the logic. That's even if you're Andy, it doesn't suddenly magically change the logic based on who's running. Andy and other players, that's not just Andy, are able to do a minor glitch called hovering. It's extremely difficult and taxing one. It also is very difficult to do on emulator compared to console due to lag or due to input delay, as well as some other things. It's also the best controller for hovering is a SNES controller or other similarly made controllers, because the most consistent technique requires pretty flat buttons.
Yeah, I've pretty much given up on trying to learn how to hover at this point.
Who is
One of
commentating?
those.
I am Zelnus, and my partner is Echoes.
Hello.
Says on the bottom.
Ooh,
Oh,
there's
there's
our
the boots. So now we can do desert, which there is still an item in desert.
Yeah, that opens up desert, King's Tomb, Bonk Rocks. So really good find here.
Still pretty crazy that the seed did require you to do Fat Fairy to get to another dungeon. Oh. Oh, there's the pump! Wow, okay. He's trying to figure out if he's in go mode and then realize he doesn't have the hook shot or the Quake medallion. So... interesting. Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, that was item number 3 so far.
Mm-hmm. Laser Bridge is packed. We have at least 2 items. This just became very interesting. Very loaded Turtle Rock. This is a pretty obvious play, honestly. It wouldn't have even, like, been a bad idea to go here before Ice Palace. Just because of the items that they had. The game basically yelled at them and was like, hey, dude, just go here. Here's all the items to do it.
Alright.
Trinets.
Compass is on Trinex.
Yeah, so they can mirror out. No reason to kill Trinets.
AaronDobbe playing it safe here, making
Oh,
use of that
yeah.
cape.
I forgot that Bombos was an ice. Wow, this seed is interesting, actually. There's some really good routing that you could do in this seed to make it all correct. These runners did not do that routing, though.
Alright, time to see what Desert Palace was hiding here.
Oh, is he trying to set up a death warp, I think. Is that what he's doing?
Looked like he was grabbing onto the ledge, or maybe thought he had his boots activated, but
Oh.
didn't.
Oh, it looks like he was damage boosted intentionally, I'm not sure. Cat rated up Sishrilla, which is now in play. If they were to do Eastern, that wouldn't be a terrible waste of time to do Eastern. To go kill Armos Knights right after doing Eastern. I think Armos Knights might have an item as well. So...
yeah, you can even...
doing Pod and then Armos Knights is probably correct over Swamp. Also, I believe that leaves an item on Landmoas. Where was Cape? I legitimately can't remember.
Yeah,
oh, it's Pod entrance. Pod. Yeah, Pod entrance. Turns out it's not required for anything, so DududeDude's not to get punished for this. Because we know that Ether is on the ledge, but it's not actually, I believe it's not, or we know where Ether is, but it's not required, so.
Alright, looks like the second item in here was in the big chest.
I will start taking notes. This tournament was like practice for me commentating. Never commentated something this long that required this much information before. It's interesting. I've done lots of commentary in my life, but nothing longer than an hour, or nothing longer than 90-minute average. So.
Yeah, this is actually my first time commentating where this tournament is. So been a fun experience so far.
I've commentated esports before. Now that is fun. The energy of doing that it's pretty intense.
Oh wow.
Not like live, but it's still pretty intense. So I think next is obviously pod.
Yeah, at this point, you know, get the crystals out of the way before going into the pendants. I think you save swamp as your last resort at this point.
Yeah, you go do pod and then do. Yeah. Oh, we forgot the chest.
Yeah, you skipped the big chest here.
All right.
That's where the second item was.
No, I would not count this as esports. Speed racing is a bit different, I think.
And DududeDude is going to be going into Palace of Darkness now. Now, AaronDobbe starting at Sanctuary. We may be seeing the boots lock locations coming into play first before heading over to Pod. Alright, so we'll get to see what is in King's Tomb and likely Bonk Rocks after this.
Oh, yeah, we have boots, so there are actually some overworld we can check. Very little, but there is some.
And there was just 10 arrows in King's Tomb. Let's see if Bonk Rocks may hold one of those key progression items here. And just an arrow upgrade, so boots weren't really locking anything aside from Desert Palace at this point.
So pod is the definite correct place to be. Which when it's bow locked, that's usually fairly obvious. Now hookshot here could lead to swamp. Oh, Magic Bat! AaronDobbe suddenly being the thorough player.
Yeah, he's gonna see if the breadcrumbs that were in Turtle Rock leads him to some sort of progression in the overworld. And it's a shovel!
So, ah!
Alright, let's go on another fetch quest here.
Not too far of a walk though. Like mushroom. Please be mushroom.
That would be amazing.
Please be mushroom to progression. I've never seen full fetch quests before, so that would be pretty sweet for me. Come on, mushroom, snake. I failed you, chat, by not thinking of that earlier.
Now, what would have been amazing is if DududeDude had found the mushroom as you were calling out mushroom.
Ah, that would be better. I'm sure chat would appreciate to know that that during my break from talking, I legitimately went and found the old video because I love that video too much. There's another bottle of blue. That's very useful to find.
Oh yeah. It's gonna save him from likely having to stop to buy potions as a safety later on.
Good
There's our hook
shot!
shot.
There, well, we're probably gonna have to make a bit of a dip. Or actually, you know what? There's some overworld we can check. There's Hoodshot Cave now.
Yeah, and that just brings us down to, at this point, finding Quake.
Mm-hmm. Probably better. It's probably faster to check Hoodshot Cave. It's just so sad.
Just 300 rupees, so Helmer Store's gonna have our last item.
Quake in Swamp or Quake in...
Yeah, Quake and Swamp
Yeah.
or Quake and Hookshot Cave.
Oh, I mean, it could be here. I think. Or are we done?
Yeah, yeah, it could still be on Helmer Store.
Boy.
Yeah, we found all 3 of our dungeon items, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have all of them. That does bring up another good point. If you're over here now and you're just looking for that one item.
Oh, yeah. Like I said earlier, definitely do Armos Night before Swamp. Right here. Fat Fairy is 100% checked. It was required to get flippers. Oh yeah, especially with it being green pen. Like, there's so many reasons to check Armos Night. I'm pretty sure it's an item. It's fast-ish. It's 2 items. It's at least 1 item, always just green pendant. This is so weird. So many options. There's actually a lot of options. Oh, that's just a red rupee. Okay, come on. Armos Nights, Swamp, or Hoodshot Cave are your 3 options.
And we will be seeing Eastern Palace. We're going to be seeing those Armos Nights.
Yeah, okay. This is good. This is correct. I think EP has an item outside of Green Pendant. Come on, game. Be nice. Just give them Green Pendant, Quake. That's what I'm saying. I've said Hoodshot Cave. J-Man, it could be Hoodshot Cave, Eastern, Green Pendant, or Swamp. There's actually 3 options that they have right now. And they're all correct. Because they're all like, well, Eastern is significantly faster than the other two options, so they'll probably both do Eastern. But it all depends on if they decide to do Hookshot Cave or Swamp. Swamp is kind of the one that this seed, it feels like fits this seed, because this seed's been pretty not really linear, because there's always been lots of things to check at a time. But it's very like, okay, well, I have all the items to do this dungeon, so do this dungeon. Get all the items to do this dungeon, do this dungeon. So we'll see what happens. I would probably do Hookshot Cave first, but Swamp wouldn't be correct. And I think that having preconceived notions like it's V27, so it's Swamp, is incorrect, since V27 is the most random that it is, and Swamp has the lowest probability of having progression of all the dungeons by like a significant amount. And there it is!
Quake!
On the Eastern boss! Oh man. So we are officially in go mode for DududeDude. He is going to do Mire, which can be either a very slow or very long dungeon. So this is a big point for this race right now, is what AaronDobbe decides to do right here. It's not necessarily an execution battle right now, because if Aaron decides to not do Eastern, and he goes to Hookshot Cave. Oh, he's mirroring. Oh. That's a good sign. And he's floating away! He's floating away!
Oh no, he's doing Hookshot Cave.
He's gonna do Hookshot Cave, and then he's gonna do Swap probably. So this is oh man. Oh chat, you know what? Honestly, I don't usually call these early, but this is a pretty big that was a pretty big like choice. Like that was wow, because this is the only dungeon. This is just a go mode Mire to the end and then GT. So he had to go to Eastern. Oh yeah, yeah boy. And welcome to, I assume, one of your first randomizers, because yes, we always run on the same seed. There is a different kind of race in randomizer called JP randomizer, and that's where you race different seeds. Some communities, some randomizers are raced like that. I know Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy IX do race with different seeds, but that's just because those are for fun, and those are just about like chatting in a voice chat and seeing how silly. You sometimes do JP randomizers because you want to chat with friends. Oh man, this was a rush. What's so random about if it's the same seed? Oh, they're decisions. There's always lots of choices. There's lots of things to do.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw it right here. The decision making. DududeDude deciding to go into Eastern Palace, where AaronDobbe deciding to go to the Overworld and now into Swamp Palace. So these items that the racers get, I mean, they can lead them down different paths. Up to this point, that the decision that AaronDobbe made. I mean, granted, the decisions were for the most part the same throughout this entire race.
And he's going to Swamp, so yeah, this is. If you went back to Eastern, there was a chance that his execution, which I think might be better from what I've seen. DududeDude, like they both have different strengths in their execution, so I don't think either one of them is better than the other. But Aaron's gambles have been throughout this race have paid off. Like I mean, I don't think he intentionally missed that one chested ankle. We'll have to ask him. Still a big question mark in my mind since like 10 minutes in. Chat always loves to play the how many falls is the racer behind. Like, honestly, there is a chance that DududeDude finishes before Aaron. No, he'll go back to Eastern. before that. I don't think that would take him that. I don't think that'll take him that long. It'd have to be like the fastest GT. And these guys have had some interesting races. One of their races, like literally one of them went to GT without boots. And it was a 1 in 22 chance that one of them lost because of that. And that happened. That was a nuts match. If you didn't see that match in the series, I won't spoil it for you, but you should watch the other games in this series if you haven't, because they were some interesting races. They have been in a nuts best of 3.
Probably one of the more exciting best of 3s that I've seen, in this tournament up to this point. Their races have just been insane. One
runner was 7 minutes ahead, if I remember correctly, roughly, and then lost it all because he didn't find an item.
All right, and just like that, it's time for everybody's favorite guessing game.
Oh yeah.
So there are 22 locations in Guinness Hour where that big key can be. If you have donated 250 bits or are a subscriber to any of the 4 Speed Gaming channels, you can get your guess in right now and have a chance of being on our leaderboard. Where do you all think this big key is going to be?
I always say 1 or 22. Because both of those mean that usually they wouldn't lose time to execution. Or they wouldn't lose time to gamble, so it's more of an execution race. But although one route is significantly slower than the other two when it comes to tile room, Dark Magician route is DududeDude, go back. What are you doing? Buddy. Buddy.
You're not in
Dark World. Yeah, there you go. Again. Well, you guys have a longer time to guess.
And then while you guys are getting your guesses in, I just want to say thank you to Noster Faru for that Twitch Prime subscription.
Oh yeah, now you're good to be in there. There's also a Discord, so you can join the Discord. There's a sub supporter. Although the daily races will be either slowing down or completely ending as of this month, so you missed out on the subscriber thing, but you can still suggest VODs for the VODcasts. That's one of the perks of being a subscriber or supporter. And you get to win the guessing game. Which by the time you've heard this, it's probably already stopped. Maybe not, because this cutscene's pretty long. Has it been a trolley seed? A bit. Some weird spots. Some weird required progression. There was a way to do this seed that would have been like amazing.
Alright, so we do see DududeDude going left side first here.
Okay, so this is what's called Dark Magician. This strategy maximizes the number of items that you get in the first burst. You grab these 4 and don't have to kill these skeletons, which is pretty slow usually. And then you just do all of right side. So this hits the most chests. This is the fastest concentration of chests. Oh no, he's just doing left side. What? Maybe we missed him checking right side? Because doing left side first is something I've never seen, skipping those first 2 chests. That's, I've never seen this before. This is not a normal route. This is not part of the 3 normal routes people do.
Yeah, that kind of changes things up, so that, I believe, is location number 6 so far.
Huh, this is interesting. Only doing left side.
You know, regardless, I kind of like it. It's nice seeing a break from the norm at times, you know?
Mm-hmm. Normal routes? I am not sure what you mean played when there are 3 normal routes that people take. Dark Magician, right side first, left side first. Other names for them being Right Side Gamble, Standard, and Dark Magician. The reason that one of the routes is considered standard is because in the last tournament, there was actually a bias towards the left side. Specifically, this room we're in right now, the rando room. The game would place items in a way that would bias it, search it. It would bias progression and bit keys. Oh, hey, look, there it is. This would actually have saved time over a traditional left side first route.
All right, so that would have made that number 11, actually.
Yeah. Normally, that would be 13. Did you do it? Oh, there you go. Good job, Furphy, for basically lucking out. How did Dude get the lead? He went to Eastern, and now Aaron has realized.
Yeah, it looks like the only thing of note that AaronDobbe picked up was that butter sword, which still doesn't make too big of a difference. It speeds up Ganon by just a few seconds, but
They didn't even find Mushroom. Mushroom must be in GT somewhere. Uh-oh. DududeDude. Oh, somebody pointed out in chat. DududeDude does not have a key.
oh, so he's got to hope that there's going to be a key in one of the 3 remaining chests here.
Oh, jeez. That's interesting. His route kind of, because he didn't check. There must be a key in the right side. If not, he's gonna lose. He could get really gypped here. He might have to go all the way to Armos via left side to get a small key. Oh no. That's interesting.
Yeah, so if you're rooting for DududeDude here, you got to hope that there's a key here in the 3 remaining chests. There's 2 upcoming, and then 1 in the room before Moldorm 2.
Now, I mean, I don't think that this is a large enough mistake to let Dobbe catch up, because we're honest, Dobbe is extremely far behind, and I think I am a huge proponent of never calling it early, but sometimes you have to just be honest with the crowd. But this is a pretty big mistake. This could cost DududeDude a absolutely ton of time. He needs one of these 2 chests to have it. That's 2.
Oh.
He has 1 more chest.
It's got to be here.
Oh. He's so flustered. He must know that he doesn't have a key. 1 more chest. And it is...
It's
no,
not
he has to mirror! Oh no, he has to go all the way! Okay,
Oh.
right side.
Gotta hope there's gonna be a key in one of these 2 chests.
Or he has to do
He's gotta
tile
go
room.
all the way
Wait,
around.
where's... Oh yeah, Dobbe has finished up Meyer. Okay, he found the key. Okay, thank goodness. He has to do the climb again.
Once again, I think in this race we're seeing a lot of nerves
Yeah.
from both of these racers.
Well, this is a big match. I mean, we're on Speed Gaming 1. This is the premier Speed Gaming channel. These 2 weren't even necessarily expecting to ever be on Speed Gaming in this tournament. People weren't even when people signed up for this tournament, they were pretty sure they weren't getting restreamed. Period. But thanks to again a lot of people, we are able to get these matches restreamed. I'm pretty sure that the finals would have always been on Speed Gaming, but pretty much like I think something like 70% of the matches got restreamed and fully commentated and tracked. In fact, like there were times when we had more restreamers than commentators for this tournament. Like it was pretty nuts. This has been a big deal for a lot of people. I think that this secondary tournament has meant a lot for the growth of this game. Yeah, somebody pointed out in chat, there's a very good chance DududeDude just is assuming that Aaron's about to done. And he's probably like, really? What? What? So the way Aaron played this was pretty linear, but the way that the way that DududeDude played this, it was pretty linear, but Aaron kept making gambles and skips that kept changing when he would finish. Oh, it sounds like no, he misses the one cycle.
Should be able to clean it up here with the spin and move on.
Is Randomizer saying it's a no? No. Does Zelda run these randos? No, he hates these randos.
Alright, so DududeDude finally making his progress back to where he was before. Going to be taking on Moldorm 2. Let's see if Moldorm 2 decides to play nice here. Alright, just needs a slash to finish him off. And there we go. And just 3 bombs in that final chest here in Ganon's Tower. DududeDude about ready to go take on Aghanim 2. Alright, a decent pattern starting out here. No, I don't know if that was a single or a double. It may have been a single there. Alright, it was indeed a double, and just like that, DududeDude about ready to drop into Ganon. Got just about full hearts here, full half magic. Silver arrows, tempered sword. Should make for a very clean fight, while AaronDobbe is now about ready to make his way toward Ganon's Tower after cleaning up Vitreous here. Also, Habinator with that Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much for supporting this wonderful channel.
Okay, so Ganon, for those who don't know, Ganon is pretty difficult actually to do fast. There are a lot of ways you can speed this up, like what DududeDude's doing. Although we missed it. He was practicing this a lot.
Yeah, he was actually practicing this before the race started. And to show some of his practice off here.
The fastest way to refill arrows before Ganon. Well, if you don't know the tree poles, there's actually a one of the tablets are considered a tree. You can check that. You can check the tree poles really quick. If not, if you know the rock crab is, you can. There's like, you could go get a rock crab, but there's no one real close. Otherwise, there is a shop where you can buy arrows in Dark World. It's actually north of the pyramid, but it is also quite slow. It's the oddity shop next to the town. Those are ways you can refill. Basically, don't run out of arrows. But here we are. We're gonna see DududeDude clean this up. He's gonna try to get. When you have half magic and fire rod, by the way, it's actually faster to skip out on torch glitch sometimes, because you can get triples with torch glitch a lot easier. Or sorry, without torch glitch. It's a lot easier to like get him into weird positions. But that's GG for DududeDude. We're gonna see him finish up in just a moment.
And yeah, DududeDude finishes. He wins third place, our bronze match, with an SRL time of 1 hour 56 minutes and 18 seconds.
Congratulations, DududeDude is now third.
And meanwhile, AaronDobbe deciding to go to the right side first and head back to the left side. So this is pretty much your standard route through Ganon's Tower here.
DududeDude is the third place dude. Main tournament finals are tomorrow, and then we'll conclude at noon. We'll conclude at noon on Saturday, or 2, depending on game 2 or 3. The finals for this tournament will be, if I remember correctly, on Friday. Hopefully DududeDude comes in for an interview.
Yeah, he should be joining us here in just a moment. He said he just needs a minute to calm down before he comes in for the interview. So
probably. Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern for all games. I knew it was Friday. I just can't remember if it was 1 or 2. Seeing Aaron will have a key because he did not skip the right side.
And there he goes. He's about ready to go up Ganon's Tower here. Alright, so looks like we do have DududeDude here in the waiting room, so just need to get him moved down. We'll be able to go ahead and get him an interview here. And we are joined by DududeDude. Congratulations! You are our third place finisher here, our bronze match winner. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
I'm just confused. That's the best word I have for it.
Yeah, so walk us through your Ganon's Tower here. That looked like it was a bit of a nail biter there for you.
Yeah, you could say that. Like, I'd love to say that I just love doing the gauntlet so much I wanted to do it twice, but what actually happened is I entered the intention of doing the Dark Magician route. Forgot halfway through I was doing the Dark Magician route. Then got lucky, found the big key on the left side anyway. And then noticed halfway up the gauntlet I had 0 keys. At that point, there's no turning back because I was absolutely certain, especially considering I died to quartz there, that there was just no way in hell I was gonna win if I didn't keep going. And then I didn't find a key, and I was like, oh no. I was halfway ready to forfeit at that point, but then I was like, you know what? This isn't the first race you've won where you climbed GT twice. And I guess that was the right call.
Yeah, I did say the biggest time difference here. You guys are pretty much neck and neck throughout the entire race here.
Yeah, I guess I went to Turtle Rock significantly sooner.
No, you guys are pretty much in Turtle Rock around the same time. The biggest difference was after completing Palace of Darkness, you decided to go into Eastern Palace and get that Quake Medallion to put you into Go mode. Whereas AaronDobbe decided to flute away, go check out Hookshot Cave, who then went into Swamp Palace, and then finally into Eastern to get that Quake Medallion.
Good lord.
So
the difference was wow.
That was the biggest time difference. But that aside, this was a really close race.
Why have I been muted?
I don't know. Why have you been muted?
I don't know. I was saying, yeah, the moment he fluted, chat kind of exploded in a GG because you were already at Meyer. You're actually pretty far ahead execution-wise at the end there.
Interesting. Well, I guess I'm confident enough in my execution to just decide to clear the gauntlet twice now. I'm not going to do that ever again.
Hopefully, you shouldn't. You try not to do that in the standard tournament that you're now officially in.
Because I was officially in it before, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you're very officially in. You're actually going to be seated fairly highly, I believe, because I believe you'll probably. I assume that they'll seed you like.
Maybe, I don't know.
Probably I don't know how they'll do it, but we'll see. Getting third is better than fourth if they're gonna seed you based on your position in this tournament.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
It's not confirmed to be standard, right? It's like 99% chance to be standard. Like, if they would have to go back on the admins would then go back on their word when they made this one open. So I'd be very shocked if it wasn't standard, because I saw multiple admins mention that it would be. When is that tournament? Probably in the spring sometime. Same time that there will be a No Major Glitches tournament that's announced in January, or it's already announced. Signups will be in January for that, and it will start in mid to late March.
And that was a beautiful Aga too, Aaron just did.
That was, yeah.
So I did want to ask, what was your overall thought on this seed altogether, especially having to go into, Pendant Turtle Rock decently early?
I kind of felt the Turtle Rock coming for a pretty long time with how the items were being set up. The Ice Rod was obviously bait, of course, because it wasn't going to be a pedestal seed twice in a row, but. Apart from that was, I don't know, I felt Turtle Rock was a good play to make once I made it. I didn't even make it that early, all things considered. But no, I was expecting at least some kind of progression in Turtle Rock. I wasn't expecting quite as much as I got in that, mind you, but... Because, the only thing short of game mode is only thing short of go mode after finishing T-Rock, or at least as much of T-Rock as I did, because I didn't do Try Next, was the Quake Medallion. Was interesting.
Sorry, I'm just watching AaronDobbe finish up his Ganon fight here. So we'll see if we can't get him in here for an interview as well.
Mm-hmm.
And AaronDobbe has now finished up second place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 46 seconds. GG to both DududeDude and AaronDobbe.
Dear Lord, I'm still just, I don't know. I'm still just so confused about actually winning that match.
You won't be when you watch the VOD.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, this is definitely a VOD that I would recommend going back and watching. It's a really good race throughout. Just a couple decisions really made the difference here. So
Well, I hope Aaron is a bit more in a state where he can actually talk about things, because I'm still just, I don't know.
all right, so looks like we do have AaronDobbe here in the waiting room. Let's see if we can't get him moved down for this interview.
Hey, Aaron.
Hello.
GG on finishing the race there.
Yeah, thank you. GG.
So just curious on your thoughts about the seed here.
Dude, this seat sucked. Oh man, not only was it just leading me around by the nose the whole time, I just nothing was going my way. I made every wrong decision, it seemed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh well.
I mean, like we're telling DududeDude here. I mean, the race was really close. I mean, you were a matter of a few seconds difference coming out of Palace of Darkness. The main difference there was DududeDude going straight into Eastern, whereas the items that you had found kind of led you around the overworld to to check out Hookshot Cave and then eventually Swamp. So
I'll tell you, I was
Yeah.
super tempted by Swamp after Palace of Darkness too, but I figured let's just quickly finish Armors while I'm here, and I got a good reward for that.
Like in some kind of world where I had already checked the Hookshot Cave, I would have gone right into Eastern instead of going there and then Swamp. But I was just I couldn't ignore all those items up there that I had not seen yet.
yeah, I mean it is a really tempting check. I mean, at that point you'd only have the one item plus the green pendant in Eastern Palace versus 4 items that are decently quick to check in Hookshot Cave. So it means I can definitely see where going to Hookshot Cave over Eastern would make sense.
Mm-hmm. And the big chest of Thieves Town was on my mind the whole time too.
I actually got to check that one, and you didn't miss out on anything there.
Yeah, I
Because
figured.
I actually did the dig game first, and then got my hammer, and then went back up to Town.
Yeah, that's probably something I'm going to start doing if I have mitts and I'm in the area. I'll go do the dig game first, and then head up, do Thieves, and then the Frog Quest.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
what I intend to do.
yeah, another question that I know Zelnus and I were talking about this during the race.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you skip Uncle Chest on purpose?
Did I skip Uncle Chess on purpose? Absolutely not. No.
Okay, good to know.
I'm actually surprised to hear that I skipped it.
Yep,
Yikes.
nope, you just went to Uncle and left. You never
At
went to the
least-
chest.
At least Quake wasn't there.
Yeah.
That would have been awful.
Oops.
All right, and then I just want to say, once again, third and fourth place here. Great job throughout this tournament. You guys have put on some fantastic races. This was probably one of the most exciting best of 3 matches that I've personally seen, in this tournament itself. So great showing from both of you, and congratulations on your third and fourth place finishes respectively. And hope to see you, with the same amount of success in the upcoming spring tournament. You both automatically qualify from this tournament. So
Yeah,
I do want to wish you both
Yeah.
all the luck there.
that is a huge deal. Because if based on the I think both of you tried, right? You were both in the
Yeah.
qualifiers, right?
Oh yeah, I was.
Okay, so that's what I thought. So you guys don't know how much of a save it's going to be not to have to deal with that.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty certain we were both just barely short of qualifying for the main tournament
I
this
believe
time.
so. I'm pretty sure. Although you're both fairly new at the time, right? Neither of you are in the sprint.
Oh, I was in the spring. Yeah.
Oh, you were? Oh, okay. Well,
Actually,
now-
I made it to brackets in the spring tournament. I mean, got knocked out pretty early in bracket,
well,
but
there
yeah.
wasn't that many people in the last tournament, right? About 100.
Yeah, it was around 100.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
and everything was so new, and there was like no
Mhm.
real nailed down strategies until like
Mhm.
mid brackets anyway. So that was a truly random tournament, from what I heard.
Oh yeah, that tournament was wild. Very happy to have been a part of that one. And this one too, of course.
Yeah,
It
the
was
secondary
just great
tournament was
fun.
crazy. It's great that we got everything nailed down.
Mhm.
Although, we should check the schedule. Yeah, Aaron is both these runners are very good, like what Willard's saying. I wish that there was a next command. There isn't. Okay, I thought I'd try. That would be cool. It's a suggestion, Fiesel. You're probably not listening. You're probably setting up for something. Oh, actually, one big thing. Starting tomorrow at 2 a.m. is RTA in Japan. Is actually starting. That is a live event in Japan, but it's being restreamed by Speed Gaming.
Awesome.
So that is something you guys should watch out. That is on Speed Gaming 3 for like the next 4 days, all the way to New Year's Eve. So, the next one is on here. Oh, we're late. We should cut now. We gotta go. Everything's being pushed back. Oh yeah, English restream to clarify. Yeah, we should wrap this up. I didn't realize we were actually late. Nobody pointed and told us that. So Super Mario 64 is gonna be on this channel. Thank you very much, Aaron. Thank you very much, DududeDude. We'll see you again. There's gonna be more LTTP dailies in about an hour. Yeah. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We should say
Yeah.
bye.
Good
Have
game,
a great
everybody.
day.
Sorry, Super Mario 64 fans.
See you later.
Yeah. Later.